Please tell me that this is working. Alright. Alright, fellas. We are here. We've been waiting all day, pretty much. We've literally been waiting all day. Thumbnail. I don't know how the thumbnail could look familiar. It was completely, spawned in like earlier today. So, but we do finally have initiation along the dry line. This little blip right here is gonna do some bad stuff later. Okay, it just initiated, like just now. Okay, but it looks like we already have this little blip up to. I mean, I don't 24K. I mean, yeah. So little blip going up along the dry line. I thought we might as well, as soon as the storm's initiated. I mean, it's pretty late. So, but I thought, we'd go live as soon as we initiated. So storms are going to start going up over the next hour or so. They're going to intensify. But they're probably not going to be, real tornado producers. What is the whoops? What? Where do you guys see that? Why does it say whoops? Why does it say whoops? What is the whoops? Oh, I know what the whoops is. I was messing with some... dude, I didn't even see... It's like, what's the whoops, man? Alright, anyway. Yeah, ignoring the whoops. Yeah, these things won't probably be tornado producers until we move a little east. Kind of near... East of Dodge City, near that Greensburg area. Because our temperature dew point spreads are a little high out here, but our temperature is coming down, and actually that's perfect. Actually, we're already good. We're 73 over 61 in Dodge City. That's perfect. So, yeah, as long as these things can get going and move off the dry line, and but yeah, it looks like an interesting night. We really got to watch for additional convection back here in the Texas Panhandle and western Oklahoma, because that, the NAM 3K, as much as I despise that model, has done an excellent job with this event thus far. And the NAM 3K projects that we will have storm initiation in western Oklahoma and in the Texas Panhandle in a very, very high parameter space. So we'll just have to watch. Our most surefire... strong tornado corridor is likely going to be in western Kansas tonight, and then their possibility is this needs to be watched heavily, because this could easily turn into, if we have storms initiate and maintain themselves, a intense long track tornado threat. Genuinely, I mean, it is pretty loaded out there, so we'll just have to see. I'm back. I had to be a gamer. Where are the... Just gotta wait, man. We're first going down here near Plains. This little blip seems to be sustaining itself. It's been going on for a bit. Now. Just gotta wait for it to intensify. But the environment is pretty good. I just trying to put on some composite parameters just to make things make a little more sense. But up in the corner, you can see the meso-analysis in there. And I have on the violent tornado parameter. And you can see that once our storms move a little east off the dry line and get into that... I mean, that environment is pretty... I mean, it's pretty loaded out there. So as long as we have storms that, do grow robust and move on, we'll be good. But we do finally have initiation, and it shouldn't be, as long as this thing starts to root, it will very quickly blow up. Hello, Solar. Are you imagining a high? But storms are very much going up. Probably go up a few tilts, and hey, he's going though. I guess that's the only guy right now. But he's going, man. Fired off the dry line. Look at him. Have a couple storms firing on the dry line right here. Some towers going up along it. Can see it pushing along here. This guy's growing a little beefier. I mean, man, seriously, the where is a very high end threat tonight. You know, it's slightly conditional, but boy, is the ceiling high. Seriously, the ceiling is quite high. So we'll just gotta wait, man. It's just a waiting game. It is just a waiting game. So I think we'll just stick out here. You know, for the next few hours. I think in the next 3 we'll really be going nuts, honestly. And again, we really got to watch this area down here. I could pull up a model run from the NAM 3K, but I mean, this area down here is quite loaded. And if the cap does erode, which as of right now it is forecasted to erode in this area, if we do have storm initiation right in this area, we genuinely have intense tornado potential. And granted, the SPC hasn't said that, you know, but it's absolutely on the table just given the environment. I mean, there's forecasted over 3,000 Cape with classic cyclic plains photographs out in here, so you could probably get some tornado action down here. If we do erode that cap, which is forecasted to possibly happen, at least on the NAM 3K, which has done a good job. I don't like the NAM 3K in general. I don't like the NAM in general, especially the NAM 3K. I think it's a really bad model, but it's done really well with this setup in specific. So I've been looking at it a little more, and yeah, we'll probably look at WAFs a little bit once these things grow a little more robust, but they're just kind of hanging out. They're just kind of hanging out. WAFs is showing a pretty ridiculous environment out here as well. But yeah, we got some stuff, and again, our temps are coming down, so our spreads are getting really. I mean, they're perfect right now. 73 over 61 is fantastic. So we'll see. I'll pull up the. I'll pull up the NAM 3K here. Newest run is coming in from the 3K, so we'll see what it wants. Granted, we're at the and yeah, this is how it's initializing. As you can see, check out the Texas Panhandle, man. We can just get a look at the environment, and though we're capped, we have over almost 3,000 mixed layer Cape just sitting there, ready to be used if we erode that, and our photograph is great. And with 3,000 Cape, I mean. And you'll get the job done. And we'll see. Does it forecast to erode? Not really. This run isn't showing it popping off any bit, but it does show, obviously, the Kansas portion. And honestly, in the exact same area that we're at right now with this guy right here. It does show storms to at least pop up in that. What kind of environment are we? And again, we're dealing with quite an upper echelon type environment here. We much steeper or deeper moisture than I'd say that was forecasted over the last couple of days, especially. I mean that's not hard to get through in terms of any of a capping inversion. So we'll check out the reflectivity just to see what it's thinking, and it does have a linear bias. So the NAM 3K tends to make everything a squall line even when it's not. But yeah, there's your convection. The last run was quite concerning because this is what it did. It made supercells go up in that region in the Panhandle, and then the environment that they were heading into was really something. Or I'll just show you the environment they initiated in. I mean, this is ridiculous. Granted, we're a bit contaminated, so I'll try to find a better representative. I'll just pull out from here like an hour before they initiate on the model, and I mean, we're pretty much uncapped. 4,300 surface base Cape, almost 4,000 mixed layer Cape, long beefy hodos. This would just be nonstop cyclic tornadoes for I mean, as long as the environment could support it, which, we get we're pretty back to capped the farther we move into western Oklahoma. We start to cap off a bit more. And then in central Oklahoma, we are there's no getting through that tonight. until we have that extra forcing. But by that time, it would be linear. The tornado threat is not very, you know, cracked out, I guess you could say. I'm curious to know what the ARRR thinks, and you know, it's projecting itself pretty. Oh, we're back in the 18Z. We're back at 18C. So again, the ARRR just initialized, and you can see that, again, we're capped, but the environment here is crazy. And if we are to uncap, which even the ARRR is, I mean, that is really dry there. I don't know how real this is, but you can see that it's a similar environment. I mean, we're kind of a powder keg. And it's just, do we convect there? And the answer is probably not. But you know, there's been plenty of events in the past where it's been like, you know, we're probably not going to convect, nothing to worry about, and we go crazy. ARRR is the same thing, though. Kind of wonky kinematics going on, but some of the same. The ARRR hasn't been handling anything very well either. But we still just have a couple blips hanging out. We'll see how long it takes for them to go up. Like, it would be ideal if they didn't, because, again, it is. I mean, the environment out here is pretty nuts. But we have several days of severe weather coming up. Tomorrow could be pretty substantial too. There's even the possibility that we could see a 15 hatched upgrade tomorrow, a tornado-driven moderate risk tomorrow. Across portions of Iowa, Missouri, and Illinois, because again, the environment up there as well is pretty impressive. We can just run through here with SimRef here, and it's been pretty consistent with. Wow, it didn't convect to this run. That's interesting. It's been pretty persistent with some discrete supercells initiating back here in western Illinois, northern Missouri, southern Iowa. We can probably go back to the 18Z run and show that it's been pretty. I'll show a model trend loop, and I think it's a really good convective signal here. You can see supercells were here on the 6Z run on Monday, and in the same area on the 12Z run, and then in the same area on the 18Z run. They didn't convect this time around, but I think the environment is, you know, yeah. I mean, the environment could easily. I don't know why it's not convecting, but you easily, in this kind of environment, you'd be dealing with like significant tornadoes. So, and we'd have multiple rounds. That's honestly what it's looking like. Is there's going to be sort of a especially in Iowa, you know, we're probably going to have morning convection run through that has the access to I mean, kind of a broken QLCS with really favorable thermos, at least kind of wonky shear profiles, but we'll move a little east where that low level jet is probably ramping a bit. Yeah, and that's kind of crazy because, you know, we just have morning showers running into this kind of environment, and I mean, we'll probably see a lot of tornadoes, and then we're going to have redevelopment behind this thing that is going to lead to probably discrete supercells. So we'll have the first round go through the area with numerous significant tornadoes, and then, as you can see, the environment behind that broken squall line QLCS kind of deal rapidly destabilizes again, and is loaded for lack of better, you know. I mean, this it's pretty crazy. 200 plus 3K, very classic M-shaped kind of Hodo, fully destabilized, really nice looking profile, and so yeah. And that's not even it, because as we continue to move throughout the day and next day, it looks like we'll have yet again some more significant tornado chances in eastern Indiana, western Ohio, where we'll probably have, same deal here. Weaker low-level shear, but sufficient. These would be very poorly ventilated, rain-wrapped blobs. But they would be tornado producers, especially with their available thermos. And we actually have better kinematics a little south, yeah, and that'd be more substantial, but again, pretty poorly ventilated. So wow, a barrage of lightning strikes. Look at that from this little guy here. Looks like we're growing pretty upscale pretty quick. Look at that. I imagine explosive initiation is ongoing right now. We're up about 32,000 feet, and an absolute blob of lightning just popped out of nowhere. So we're convecting now. So now we just gotta wait. We're full on. Our storm is full on, producing plenty of lightning, growing big fast. So we'll see. But very poorly ventilated, but definitely fun. How do you tell how well a supercell is ventilated on the Hodo? So for tornadoes, you know how we look in the lows, 0 to 1 kilometer, 0 to 2 kilometer range. Well, you want that. I'll pull a sounding back here. You just want the upper few kilometers to be vented away from your hodograph, right? Like, so this is vented away more. So you have your 0 to 1 kilometer shear right here. Okay, you always want that curve for tornadoes, but then 2 to about 6, you see how it's pointed a little more north. And a hodograph is more than just the wind profile. Your storms will actually take the shape of their hodographs. Like your storms will literally take the shapes of their hodographs. Imagine everything from 1 kilometer to 6 kilometer being your forward flank of your supercell. So if we were to draw in your supercell, you could draw in the hook right here. And then, you draw on the hook right here, and your forward flank would probably be out more like that. With storms that are back, in Indiana, you're very weakly ventilated. So, you'd probably have your storm gun going, but, I mean, you'd have quite the blob in the way of a forward flank. And that's just not good in terms of chasing. But just to show an example of how storms take their hodographs, we'll look at, again, so this is Mayfield, and you can see that it's probably not the best example. Here's a good example here. You can see how the hodograph, your supercell kind of takes your hodograph shape in a sense of where the forward flank precipitation is vented away. You just generally want everything from 1 to 6 kilometers just away and north of your 0 to 1 kilometer, your hump, I guess you could say. I'm trying to put it in ways that is more like less meteorological jargon, But again, your storm is really going to take the hodograph shape, right? Like, this isn't very well ventilated, okay? So you have your 0 to 1 kilometer shear, you got that hump, you got that strong low level shear, but you're not vented away from the storm. You're kind of vented in front of it. Your forward flank is going to bloop out in front of your storm. And that's exactly what happened. There's your tornado producing portion of the storm, and your forward flank is kind of blooped out a little bit. Same thing with Andover right here. You can see that you have your forward flank is going to be pushed down to the south like that, and that's exactly what happened in Andover. Your forward flank is pushed down more to the south. This is a bit, it's not great for ventilation, but more ventilated. But yeah, your storms are going to take the shape of their hodograph. Well, how big your forward flank is going to depend on is it's kind of dependent on mass flux and all that. But generally, and at least in Dixie, you have your kinematics are so strong. You have such long hodographs that you. I'll have to find something from Dixie here, but you just do have. But long tracker soundings are all incredibly similar, like Hackleburg, Mayfield, Philadelphia. All of those have incredibly similar. They're called forever hodos. We'll go find here. Like this is a forever hodo. That's a forever hodo. That's a forever hoto, and those are very similar to those seen in something like Mayfield, for example. I mean, those keep tornadoes on the ground for a very, very, very long time. We'll go back to 2021. Throw it down here into... Okay, we went a little too far down. Okay, so we're in 2022. Where are we at? I just want to go to 2021, bro. And we'll look back at that storm, but we are fully... But yeah, okay, and then here's Mayfield. And you can compare Mayfield to, for example, I think Hackleburg would be a better comparison. But look at Mayfield and Hackleburg. I mean, very similar forever hotos. Whenever you see very huge, I mean, just that is always a scary look, you know. And a lot of it's pattern recognition, right? Like, a lot of it, you know, takes time to learn. And but yeah, our guy's really blowing up here. Look at that, dude. I mean, producing a lot of lightning too. Really low precip kind of deal here, but look at that, man. We're going, man. We're going. Big time initiation here, and it's really the only like robust thing out there. You can see our dry line retreating right there. Oh, we were retreating. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Drop the place file link. I actually don't know what it is. I don't know what the place file link is, to be honest, for the lightning. But in the nocturnal hours, your dry line retreats back to the west, and you can see that it's doing exactly that. You know, it's back in Garden City, and then we're moving more west. But here we go. There's our convection. There's our it's explosive updraft. Honestly, 30,000 feet. Fairly low precip right now, but it's probably going to change pretty rapidly. I'd be interested to see what our VAD wind profiles look like out of Dodge City, just to see what kind of environment we're moving into here. Whew. That is pretty... Okay, we're really wonky here. We're really, really wonky here, but there is a huge hump in the hodograph, and at least the lowest 1 kilometer, which most of the time indicates that we're going to be dealing with some biggies, some cyclic tornadoes, especially cyclic supercells that are going to continuously produce tornadoes. Those big humped hodographs are usually, and something for chasers to be aware of is these would be deviant tornadoes, because they're going to continue to cycle. But yeah, same thing. Big humped hodo in there. Your tornadoes would be deviating pretty much due north. Pretty much really like north-northeast or almost due north. A big humped hodo like that. How do you calculate deviance? So you take basically your storm motion vector, and then your 0 to 500 meter. See how it's kind of hard to see in the center, but there's that pink line right there. That's your 0 to 500 meter wind vector right there, and you just basically take in the middle of that 0 to 500 meter wind vector right there. Okay, and then say you put a dot there. Then you put another dot at your storm motion vector. In the middle of both of those dots, which would be right here near this 40, would be your deviant tornado motion vector. And then you draw from the center of your hodograph an arrow to your deviant tornado motion vector. So your tornadoes would be moving north, almost due north, northeast when they'd occlude. When they'd traditionally be moving more east or northeast, they're going to occlude pretty much due north when they're ready to... I just realized the meso analysis thing is completely in the way. Okay. I'm looking back on stream. Okay. I'll expand it out here. But again, 0 to 500 meter wind shear here, right in the middle of that. Basically, from your 0 to 1 kilometer, just pick the middle of your hump, basically, of that pink line. Draw a dot there, and then draw another dot at your storm motion vector. in the middle of both of those dots is like right here, and then draw from the center of your hodograph up to that, and that's your deviant tornado motion vector. You'd be having tornadoes that would move either due north or really far northeast, and they'd probably honestly shoot out a bit to the northwest. That's because that's typically what they do. And I wouldn't be surprised if our hodos are a little more inflated than that. But we have just an absolute like barrage of lightning here. Interested to see what this storm would look like. But we are blowing up, man. We are blowing up. Wow. Whoa. Yeah, definitely some real explosive initiation here. Look at that. There we go. I was wondering why the radar wasn't go, but there we go. There's our explosive initiation there. Here we go. We are really beefing up big time here. It really won't be very long. It really won't be very long at all until this thing starts going. So I'll pull up mesoanalysis. We have our violent tornado parameter just in the corner right there. And you can see that, and I'll also pull up. We'll just pull up our mixed layer cape that the storm has. Okay. We have a lot of convective inhibition to deal with, especially as we move into the nighttime hours, and it's still a bit capped, but that shouldn't be much of a problem, again, because now we're going to be moving into an environment that has over 2,000 joules a kilogram to take advantage of, and especially as we continue to move even farther east. I imagine that instability plume might, it looks legit, man. It looks legit. I can turn on, again, I'll turn on VTP here, and you can just see that, again, there's a lot of convective inhibition, but this thing's going to be probably able to ride it out, especially with such strong low-level shear. Sometimes your storms don't care how much stability exists. They're just going to produce anyway. So really high-end environment ahead of this thing. In terms of we can look at our stretch, again, very easily stretched. We'll be able to stretch that vorticity really easy. Very strong low-level lapse rates. I'm pretty sure we have a nice plume of 3 cape kind of developing that I imagine will grow over time. Yeah, it's going to increase a bit. Yeah, we're ahead of these storms. It looks nice. It definitely looks nice. We'll be able to see our low-level jet, and it's ripping. It's ripping. And will continue to rip and increase over the next few hours, which is concerning. But here we go, man. This is our discrete supercell firing right off that dry line, and really it's about the only thing out here. So there you go. Honestly, we've been talking about this all week. Basically, is the threat for these things, and there we go, man. There we go. You alright, Eben? I want to see this thing from our... yeah, dude, really blowing up here. Look at that. Really rapidly was able to root, and boom. We got it. We'll just keep our eyes on this guy here. Especially because, we do look really nice here. And as we move farther east, it's going to get even better. That's the thing is, when we move east of Dodge City, it's in a very, very good environment. Much deeper and better quality moisture rather than just against the dry line. Because this moisture hasn't really been pooled up along the dry line for that long. As much as like farther east of like Dodge City, it's been sitting there for a minute. We're probably much deeper. And a sounding from... near Woodward earlier confirmed that our moisture is pretty deep compared to the forecast. Because that was one of the meh things about the setup is our moisture quality, and the depth of our moisture, and I wasn't totally buying that it would really be that shallow as forecasted, just because of how long it was just going to be sitting there. I mean, we had 3 or 4 days of recovery in quotes, so I didn't think it'd be much of a problem, and it really hasn't. There's a lot of dry air aloft, but at least the lowest 1 kilometer has a nice moisture channel. You know, we have a lot of moisture aloft. I mean, we're really beefing up though, man. And and if you see the storm, you know, kind of level off for a second or not look very great, you know, just remember that we are very early on into initiation. Again, we've only been live for like 30 minutes or so, and our storm is just now actually being a storm. It has plenty to go. Plenty to go. How fast is it moving? Not very fast at all. You know, we're going to be dealing with classic, slower moving planes, supercells. Probably won't go that fast. You know, the hope is that we don't get near Greensburg. You don't want to get near any town, but you don't want to get near an especially traumatized town. You know what I mean? I mean, that's what you really don't want that. Yeah, wind shift is really nice along that dry line right there. Super strong convergence. I mean, look at that. I know most chasers weren't very happy about this being nocturnal either. You know, a lot of chasers want to see the tornadoes, but on nights like this, it's really important to have your spotters, because even when you don't, you know, have an incredible view on, you know, it's just good to spot them. You know, have spotters, eyes on the ground to let you know what's going on. Saw that Winchester cell from 314 illuminated by lightning. Yeah, me as well. Me as well. It was quite the night. Was quite the night. You know, I was originally going to wait for storms to go a little tornadic, but you know, I was anticipating to go live a little earlier, but thought we might as well go live as soon as it convected. Yeah, there's some pictures coming out on Twitter. This thing is growing beefy and putting out some really nice CGs. I'm going to be sniffling a lot because I'm sick. I woke up sick. I think we'll get some convection in the Texas Panhandle. I'd hope not, and I don't totally think so. It's a bit more conditional, but I'd be on the lookout at least, you know, because the ceiling is quite high if we have convection pop off in the Panhandle in western Oklahoma. I mean, the very high ceiling, but this is the main focus as of now, and we'll have to wait over the next few hours. You know, if we go about into the midnight hours, and we start seeing some blips, yeah, we should probably be a little on the lookout. But I don't. It's just one of those. I don't know. I don't know. There's not a lot of signal across many of the models that suggest initiation, but you know. Yeah, it's very much a wait and see kind of thing. Tons of lightning. Tons and tons of lightning. Luckily, we're really close to a radar here. Just don't want to lose coverage, but we won't. We'll have a good view of this thing. Especially if I think we'll move a little more northeast, you know, for the time being. become more of a right mover, and I think we'll have a good view of this thing throughout its entire life for as long as it really matters. Have to really look out for any mergers as well. If anything else goes up, even if it's another little blip, that going into this thing, because I mean, you very much beef up your storms in that way. Mergers are definitely going to be vital. For this thing's health. $60 DBZ in there. Oh yeah, I see that. 65. Some areas of 65 in there. And we are punching. We're going, baby. Very quick explosion. These kind of days are really cool when you see the storm just blow up like that. I remember just a couple months ago in February, I think, and that northern Illinois tornado outbreak with the... I mean, those storms went up instantaneously. Like, in like 3 scans, they were already like 60 dBz. God, this would be such an easy target, though. You'd just pretty much have to sit with this storm for the rest of the night. Not much you'd have to do. It's real easy. Real easy. Serious. I mean, this thing is popping lightning like crazy, though. This guy is energetic. Luckily, these areas are super accustomed to this, you know what I mean? Like, they have better infrastructure than most places for specifically tornadoes. You know, so there's not like really a reason to worry too much about the safety of any of these small towns out here. You know, most people are going to be able to, you know, they know what's up. Like, this is by no means the highest risk they've ever been in, nor is this their first rodeo ever, you know. Also makes tracking really easy. I think we haven't had a scan in a minute. It's got about 15 minutes of really neat lightning footage from little pop-up showers. Good stuff. Good stuff. I saw those going up. Those look nice. Yeah, there's a ton of lightning with those guys up there. Look at that. Wow. Already had... Yeah, look at that. Very quick. Very quick. Look at that thing, man. There we go, man. Welcome. Definitely has that look. Very quick look, man. Impressive. Good thing we went live, because I mean, when you have this kind of like explosive initiation, this stuff tends to happen. What's the Minnesota slab speed red percentage right now? Okay, I think I'm going to delay that for that EAS scenario extravaganza kind of thing. I need to figure out when to announce that. I think I'm going to try to do it soon, and I have to, you know, plan a time to do that. But again, this thing has a strong to intense tornado risk The SPC kind of has it capped off as like a strong tornado risk, right? Like EF2, whatever. Genuinely think that we could be pushing some, it's definitely not, and again, sounds kind of weenie-ish, okay? But these kind of environments very commonly get you EF3 plus tornadoes in the plains. So, go crazy on me if I sound like a weenie. But I do genuinely think that we have intense tornado potential tonight. Like, without a doubt, with any mature supercell. You don't need as much to get it done in the plains. Like 50 knots, a super strong low-level shear out here, and 3,000 cape is like ridiculous. You're gonna get your tornadoes. Like, just think back to Alta Vista just a couple days ago or weeks ago. I don't know how long it's been now, but I mean, you get some very, very strong tornadoes out of something that in some places wouldn't result in that same intensity. Your friend Frost is almost in the path of this thing. How? What do you mean by path? Because we have, quite a lot. If your friend's in Dodge City, I mean, this thing is growing pretty rapidly. I'm really interested to see the next scan. Oh yeah, we are really growing here. Really beefing up here. Tons of lightning. Is there those new blips up there? Yeah, we got new blips up here near Jetmore. Definitely something to watch up here as well. We could have more storms firing off up here, which is just always something to be on the lookout for. So watch for these guys, because those are going to be problematic. Could be problematic in the long term. Yeah, but the Dodge City one is definitely the most obviously, it's like the only thing out here right now except for these little blips. There's now a special weather statement on it for 55-mile-an-hour winds and half-inch size hail. Yeah, you're gonna have severe everywhere, Caitlin. And you'd have to move pretty far away. Yeah, you can see that. Good point. I mean, you have lightning stretching out very far from the storm. And this thing is beefy. It's a big boy. It's a big boy, and it's so late, man. Moved to Nevada, but then you'd have to worry about. But if you don't want severe weather, that means you're gonna really miss out on your spring and your precipitation in general, and your beautiful flowers and actual vegetation. You'd be out in the watching desert. Maybe you could move to like California. Less severe weather, I guess, but you still have crazy atmospheric rivers. In some areas, you got to actually worry about volcanoes, earthquakes always. You could move to Hawaii, but then same deal, volcanoes. You could move somewhere far into Canada, but then you'd be dealing with. There's extreme weather everywhere. God, man, this thing is... Whew, what is that? Really impressive evolution, man. Look at this thing kind of just... Whoop. Half severe weather? Yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah, Argentina Tornado Alley would be cool to chase. You're just very limited on what you have to even see the storms, you know what I mean? You have to really rely on basically just satellite imagery. It'd be really tough. Really, really tough. But Pecos Hank got it done. That was pretty impressive. See a nice photogenic South American supercell. Really nice. You could live in Spokane, Washington and experience absolutely no weather at all. Unless you want a super rare tornado. You can move the, like... I don't know, man. Like, you go up in elevation, but then you'd be dealing with pretty extreme, like, snow. You know, like, where do you go that you're, like... there's nowhere you can go where you're totally safe. I mean, if you want to just avoid tornadoes, dude, go live in, like... on a mountain somewhere, like in the Cascades. Like you're not gonna see a tornado there. Like live on Mount St. Helens. But like what? But then, bro, you have like Mount St. Helens to worry about. Nevada, even Nevada, sometimes you get land spouts. I mean, if you're terrified of tornadoes, you still. Nevada is definitely not a hot spot for tornadoes. I definitely wouldn't call it a hot spot. Yellowstone? Yeah, dude, even Yellowstone... Dude, you could go at Yellowstone to avoid tornadoes. I'd rather worry about a comparatively small sky wiener than a massive... yeah. But Yellowstone's not going to erupt. You know, you don't got anything... I mean, unless you're like a mortal and you're going to live there for tens of thousands of years, that would be worrying. Alaska, you go to Alaska. Nome, Alaska, but then you have to worry about volcanoes, and especially Nome, you'd have to worry about tsunamis from any volcanic eruptions that could occur, and then obviously extreme blizzards. Literally at an F4. That's the thing, is you can go to Yellowstone, but man, you'll get that off Viator. You'll get it. You'll get it. Such a cool case, man. Really, really cool. That is so random. What about man, you just unless you want to skimp out on like seasons, I mean, you're gonna have to deal with severe weather from time to time. Yeah, that's the thing, is with a lot of those tornadoes that are undocumented in rural areas, especially back then. I mean, the only way you'd know about them was just huge swaths of trees down. There's talk of that in old native writings, as what I forget what they called it, the wind trails or something. They would come across huge swaths of forest just laid down. It was like a bad omen or something. Imagine being being from Europe. You know, you're a colonizer and you come to the U.S. and the first time you see a tornado, imagine how terrified you would be. Like doing the Oregon Trail or something, and seeing a tornado for the first time, or hearing hearsay about it. Like, it would be like a total urban legend. Like, you'd have people that would come back from the plains and be like, "Bro, I saw the craziest thing," and they wouldn't believe you. They'd be like, "No way, no way." and you'd only be able to find the evidence of it with like huge swaths of trees down. I mean, it would be so scary. You have no idea. But I mean, they exist in a lot of folklore, and I mean, tornadoes were a big part of. I mean, there's a chunk of native folklore that is very dedicated to tornadoes. I don't know how real the dead man walking thing is, because I know that it's said that was a native thing. I don't believe it, but I don't think there was ever any like evidence of that actually being a native legend, as much as it is people just saying stuff. Man, these guys too, dude. These guys too. If we get even just 2 supercells tonight, producing Sigtors, and if they're that cyclic, I mean, we're in for easy tornado outbreak. Easy tornado outbreak. Especially with the proximity of these two. If they both grow robust, a good merger would kick them both off like crazy. I mean, very easily. Very, very easily. I asked my native friend about it, and he said there's something similar to what I described in some communities, but he's not entirely sure. Imagine being like a farmer and seeing Lukiva just destroy it. Yeah, I mean, dude, it'd be terrifying. I mean, it's just scary. Imagine being a Roman named Lucius Caecilius Incudus that was thrown into Vesuvius as a human sacrifice. Do you guys ever think about that? Bro, imagine being one of the people that they put in a bronze bowl. Like, oh my... Pretty morbid, but... People really did face those fates. Like, that's what's so messed up. Someone in human history really was thrown into a volcano. Or, something like that. Like... Imagine eclipse for... Yeah, dude. An eclipse, too. Total solar eclipses really freaked people out. I know that. I mean, that's very prevalent through history. And especially how rare they were. I mean, how do you even explain that to anybody? Because, I mean, they'd be in very small paths across the entirety of the world. Like, how do I tell somebody that... I mean, dude, my GR2 seems to almost be running behind a little bit. The updates on my radar scope, and we're getting a little... is there a water tower or something in Dodge City here that is cutting off? Because the new scan has the storm, like, chopped in half, basically. The one place you do not want to be a witch. It's Boston, Massachusetts. On a color table that goes up to 100 dBz. GR2 tweaking a bit. It is tweaking a little bit because my radar scope is 2 scans ahead right now. I mean, it's really behind. And our storms up here are much more robust as well. They might be undergoing the exact same thing. Explosively convecting up here. So GR2 is a bit behind. Or Salem, not Boston, Massachusetts, whatever. Same place. It's like it's a tiny state. Like Boston is basically in the same location as Salem. Yeah, GR2 is super behind. I don't know what's going on. Hopefully we get a good refresher here. No. Still backed up a bit. Which is weird. Hopefully we get a scan update here on GR2. That would be kind of problematic. If with GR2 like it broke. But I'll keep you guys updated. We're just looking on my phone at radar scope. I mean, we're... Again, these blobs up here have grown. Gotten beefier. And then this guy here is just continuing to move along. It is really not updating at all. We haven't had an update in minutes now. Imagine being an 1800s farmer that got smacked, get their shack destroyed by grapefruit-sized hail, and then looking in the distance and seeing Greensburg. That's got to be terrifying. Dude, I mean, like, what do you do? Like, you'd be so panicked. Like, what is your course of action? And there's not much known, right? Like, you don't know to, like, go underground. Why are we so behind? This is weird. I really hope we get an update soon enough, because my phone is 2 scans ahead here. There we go. Okay. Much better look now, but still behind. Still behind. My phone is still a scan ahead here. But you can see these guys are definitely growing up. We're getting somewhere with these ones up here and this guy down here. It's being weird earlier today too. Man, I hope it unweirds itself. I know there's been some issues with like transmitting the data recently. And now we're pretty backed behind on even looking at radar scope. We're kind of behind. I hope that we don't have any radar issues going on. Because obviously, it's especially in the risk zone, you don't want to, like, you know, especially when you have these developing supercells out here, it's not ideal. Kind of hungry. I don't know what to eat though. I had a salad today, a baked potato, and a little sandwich, but I haven't eaten much. I want like I want something like with a lot of sustenance. You know, I want like something that's gonna really fill me up. Favorite tornado photo. By the way, guys, new scan on the Dodge City storm. I mean, this thing is getting fat quick. I mean, genuinely fat. We are just not getting any scans. But I don't know. Favorite tornado photo. I mean, Eli. Or anything from like God, I don't know. Like there's like my like I'll always be an Eli, like, you know, the #1 Eli soldier. But dude, we are backed way behind here. Like this is the scan like 2 scans ago. Is there a way to like make it not old? See how I hear from KVNX, see if we get a better view, at least a more up-to-date view. And yeah, we do. We have a much better up-to-date view from KVNX here. At least, I mean, I think. Who knows? But you can see we have multiple storms going up. This is interesting. We have new convection coming off the dry line as well near Scott City. Kansas out here. That's interesting. What is that? Do we have like towers going up? And that is interesting. Again, this is so behind. Looking at this on Dodge City, it could really be tornado time, like within 30 or so. It is, again, it's fat. It's a big boy for sure. And really interesting. Really, really interesting. But we are just so backed up. We are just so backed up. Took a lightning oh, that could actually be. Is there anywhere better that we could look at? What is causing? This is interesting. There is a ton of lightning here popping off the dry line. I mean, it looks like we definitely do have yeah, we do. We have storms going up along. We have quite a few storms going up along the dry line. We might end up with 3-4 very discrete supercells tonight, just chugging along. This thing is pushing out a ton of lightning, though. I might have to quickly download radar scope on my laptop if we're not going to update on GR2, which I don't want to, you know, say screw GR2, but if we're not, you know, updating, you know, in time, there's pretty much no point. Like, you can't do coverage with old scans, you know what I mean? I mean, it's literally lethal sometimes. Wow, look at that, dude. I think we're caught up. I think we're caught up here. Actually, I'm not sure. No, yeah, I think we're caught up. But I mean, dude, look at that, dude. Real big time beefer. I think we're caught up. Hold on. Let me look on my... We are not caught up. Okay. Please catch up. Okay. I think now we're finally caught up for real. Yes, we are totally caught up now. Totally caught up as even more storms are trying to go up along the dry line. Tons of lightning here. Tons of lightning, but there we go. We are finally actually caught up. Man, that's a fat storm, man. That is one fatty. But it looks like we honestly have quite some attempts here at what looks like we're having like full on convective initiation along like the entirety of the dry line here. Look at that, dude. How do I make the background? So go to GIS, and then go to I believe it's BMNG Landsat colors, and then you just adjust the brightness. Like I turned mine down to, or I don't know what I did, but you can do that, and then just make the background gray. But I make it so that when you still zoom in, like if I zoom in really close, if I want to really look down, it'll load in the close-up imagery in color. I really like it that way. This thing's definitely doing it, man. Is Wichita in the parameter space? I mean, yeah, but I think by the time this thing gets to Wichita, we'd be kind of done. We'd be kind of done by this thing. Time this thing gets to Wichita. I mean, this is going to be a very slow mover. I'm gonna check my phone just to make sure we're still running good here. Yep, we're up to date and everything looks good. But tons of lightning. Tons of lightning. And as we move east, we're gonna get lower LCLs on this thing, and it's again, the farther east this thing goes by miles, it's gonna very quickly go tornadic. I'm trying to get like linear convection here on the dry line. Spring is young Sheldon season. Well, yeah, I'd end the stream once our discrete tornado threat is done. I'd be ending stream, but we'll likely be live for at least the next 3 hours. Is there a mezzo on it? The storm, because of how much wind shear we have, the storm is inherently sort of rotating, but it's, there's no defined like actual mesocyclone. Like I don't think that we don't have like a very, and we have a bit of time, but we're getting there. Like, it won't be long. And then I'll look. You see convergence of the boundaries. Yeah, you're gonna see that dry line is chilling there in the panhandle. It's are we gonna convect on it though? And if we do, if we start seeing that, that's a problem. Then we know we're a little in for it. V-notch, yeah. Look at that. Just as you said that. Look at that. Flying eagle, baby. We're getting there. Small funnel cloud report. Interesting. Is there really? At nighttime? I guess I'll believe it. But look at it, though. It's really taking shape. It's really taking shape here. Small funnel cloud reported in the occlusion by Hunter Hurley. Okay. Which I believe. I believe. And these storms are so turbulent, it's probably not hard to pop out a funnel. Hunter's a good chaser, too. I take that as legit. Dry line here is popping, though. Look at that. Like, blowing up back here. Some impromptu landscaping. Some impromptu landscaping. Yeah, I'm sorry if my my sniffling is annoying. I just have to. How do you edit the website no BS? What do you mean by that? Like, this is what I'll do. See that plus? You go plus, browser, and then you insert your website link in there, and it'll pop it up. Rapidly forming wall cloud. I buy it. If that's the case, though, it should look better next scan. Should be a little more organized. What's happening? Our storm is really blowing up, and there's a developing wall cloud on it, and it won't be very long until tornado time. And we have seriously exploded. Good to hear you're home, Terrible. Yeah, Terrible. Sorry that you had that absolute cat bust in Nebraska. That is unfortunate. I mean, that was brutal. That was brutal. It comes with it, though, man. I mean, that's the name of the game, you know. It happens. It happens. This is elevated. This is not elevated, but it's probably a little more high based. Again, the farther east we move, the lower those LCLs are, and we're probably really good right now, especially if there's a developing wall cloud. We're probably getting there. But no, this is not elevated. This looks to be behind the dry line. So this is some elevated stuff. At least just ahead of it. But the struggling blip here and this beefer. We'll look at the... oh, this is current. You can see that low-level jet is absolutely ripping. And our storm right here is just now moving, I mean, into 50-knot low-level shear here. We're probably a little iffy because of the storm that was moving by Dodge City. But maybe we could get a look, sort of, if we go up here into southern Nebraska. Oh, good lord. Sort of. Maybe near Wichita, probably a better example. By a little bit, I guess. Very strong low-level shear out here, no doubt, though. You can see huge hump totographs. You know, I mean, this cyclic tornado producers, if we get them 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 knots low-level shear. That's tough. That's tough. And our storm is just now moving into it. And our storm looks to be, again, it's in the best instability that's available for it. There is an absolute bullseye of VTP very far up here, but do not take the composite parameters with total absolute, you know, like take them like gospel, you know, they're very much not. Little action right here, a little weird blob, you know, maybe we can absorb that a little better. But our storms were expected to be a little weird initially. They have to have time to develop, obviously, and there is still a lot of dry air and some convective inhibition to fight off, so... But... I see people on Twitter, you know, as always, being like, bust, 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 you know, and we just initiated, so... There's also a ton of chaser convergence. Ton. Everybody out here said that they are not missing that storm. Blowing sand report? Yeah, I'd imagine. We literally just started. Yeah, people are... Yeah. I think some people were frustrated about Nebraska today, which wasn't even the main, you know, area of concern. That's the thing, is like, it's not even... That was not what everybody was worried about, you know what I mean? The worry, the greatest area of concern was here in southwest Kansas, and if we convect western Oklahoma and in the panhandle of Texas, that was the concern. You know, not like Nebraska. That was the daytime chase target. But, you know, night chasing isn't that bad, especially when you have storms that are this energetic. Like, I've chased at night before, and obviously it would suck if your storm's not, you know, but if you have lightning every few seconds, like this storm is probably have on it, like, you're not going to have a problem seeing it at all. Or identifying any features. It's pretty easy. There's always more, yeah. And I know people are frustrated in the early season because there's a lot of setups that don't really work out, and it really pisses them off, and I get it, you know, but just gotta wait, man. There's always going to be better. There's going to be those slam dunks. You know, you're going to get your photogenic tours eventually. Just gotta wait. You gotta wait for it. Bit clustered here, but I mean, man, the lightning output. Kid named Slab. Kid pilled Slab Maxer. NATOcast is printing out a 15 hash tornado risk for Missouri and most of central Iowa. Unsure of how much I buy the NATOcast, but it hasn't done terrible this year. And it does look like the environment is definitely favorable. It's a bit west, though. Could it split? It looks like it's going under a lot right now. Like, there was some sort of split that is trying to happen or something. It's clustered. It looks like there's multiple updrafts going up around it and in it. It's kind of clustered, kind of ugly, disorganized. But you just got to give it time. Just got to give it time, especially when it's the only thing out here and you don't have something like a ton of mergers helping it out. Because, I mean, this was pretty much the only thing that came off the dry line. And then these strugglers out here. So it's all alone. So it needs more time to cook, I guess you could say. Whereas, like, a lot of times along a dry line, you'll have, like, a bunch of storms go up and you'll have a couple mergers and you'll get really organized fast and you'll look really nice. But sometimes sometimes you just gotta cook. Wait some time. Gotta let it really marinate. Yeah, the radar hole. You know, it's not terrible, though. We have a bit of coverage out there. You know, it's not the worst in the world. New can. Let me see that new scan. Is this up to date? I don't think it is. Oh, I was up a few tilts. How was I up a few tilts? Okay. You might be looking 10,000 feet up. Yeah, you're probably not wrong. I feel like I expect it to turn more right, though. And probably stay in the... but man. I mean, if it keeps trucking northeast like this, yeah. We'd be kind of looking and... we'd be looking a little far. I'm excited for Wednesday almost more so than tomorrow. I still don't know if I'll chase tomorrow just because of how far it is. It might be a 5-hour drive. So I don't know. But I know Wednesday is very nice. Terrain, at least. Storms are not as well ventilated like we talked about earlier. Nor does it look like a super substantial tornado threat, but it's at least closer to home and in much better terrain. Because far western Illinois, you have a lot of rivers, and it's like the Mississippi River's right there. Um, like in Quincy, Illinois, was where you'd have to go, and it's terrain is not totally ideal out there. It's definitely not the worst ever. Um, but Wednesday it looks really nice. It's going severe warned. And you can see this thing is definitely fighting off some dry air entrainment. It's definitely fighting for its life, without a doubt. And there that is. There's that severe. A certified horseshoe moment. Look at it. Who up Ewing? Some very broad convergence on the dry line, as to be expected. I'm going to make sure we're not too far behind. I'm going to go in radar scope. Nope. We're doing alright. Oh man, we are really weird looking. Now that we've initiated, I think we can go look at wafts. April 15th. And then most recent run through UTC. What are our WAFs members projecting? So interesting look here. WAFs is a little east, and it does project a long track, fairly long track supercell to develop. And I think it might be trying to hint at this thing. But it's definitely not... Yeah, this is right now. Right? And it is trying... It's depicting a more robust kind of deal to develop. With... most of the members are on it in that just general area. Be interested to toggle sounding, see what we're dealing with, and not too long from now. Hold on, we'll see. the kind of environment we have downstream. Loads. Taking its sweet time, as it does. There we go. Whoa, it is on something here. We are super mixed out here. Okay, that makes more sense. Okay, here's sort of in the short term. It's running really wonky. And then it completely, like, mixes out. That's weird. That does not make much sense, Mr. Wafts. I'm not gonna lie. That doesn't make much of any sense. Okay. We'll try again. Okay, yeah, we're doing the same thing. It's weird, but this makes a lot more sense, at least. And we do go pretty much fully uncapped. And the environment remains continuously supportive for tornadoes, at least over the next, like, hour or two. And then it gets really wonky here. But not bad. Not bad. Wonky, yeah, it is fighting some dry air entrainment, big time. I mean, it's not having an easy fight, but it's fighting. It's holding on. It's sustaining. We'll pull somewhere out here just to get an idea, and I mean, it's not bad at all, actually. I mean, we have some dry air, but that shouldn't be that bad. But it is struggling a bit. As anticipated. Honestly. Just have to really wait for these guys, man. Again, like I said, it's much easier when you have a bunch of mergers along a dry line rather than a single storm. I'm going to bed. Good night, Eben. Everybody say good night to the Ebenezer. Are we behind or? No, the GR2 is actually ahead for the first time. Yeah, dude, this thing is struggling with dry air. Big time. I mean, it is really struggling with dry air. which is a good thing. We don't really want to see this kind of parameter space come to fruition. I heard Ebenezer Scrooge's Eben Shoegaze, Am I Cooked? Solar would like that. Why Solar looking at shoes? Nah, bro. Why is she looking at shoes, bro? Oh, no. She's a shoe gazer. Why is she looking at shoes? Why does she keep her eyes on shoes, bro? Last chat message, AT's gazer. You're gonna summon her. By all means, this guy's intensifying, but slowly and wonkily, if that's a word. Slowly and wonkily. But we are growing, getting more intense. $half size tail. Oh wow, Matt. Well, 1 1/4 inch hail. Thank you, Terrible. I just saw that. There's one big discrete storm out here. And it does look to be organizing a bit better. It's just very clustered. Have a lot of areas to kind of conglomerate, but God, that is a beefy storm. No doubt about it. Have we grown and intensified quite a bit. I appreciate the forecast a ton. I try my best. But, you know, days like today, real conditional, you know. They're hard to nail. Even on the days that, you know, chases don't go very well, though, it's always good to just get out there. Like, it feels nice to just, oh, I was outside today. Oh, I, you know, ate good food. You know, I got away from home. Yeah, me too. It's nice to get away from home and just be in the middle of nowhere with just Mother Nature. Like, even if there's no storms, you know, just being out in nature, hanging out by yourself. It's almost like a self-love thing. Question mark, question mark, you know what I mean? It's like, it's meditative to just be outdoors and on your own. And yeah, it's good for mental health for sure. Even on the cat bus days, it's nice. Again, we are a really big storm now. Really trying to consolidate in one main beefy supercellular updraft. We're like a transient supercell type structure right now. We're probably weekly rotating, you know, aloft especially, but trying to get that really defined mesocyclone here. And we should get it, should the intensifying trends continue, but again, when you're a lone storm out here and that nighttime inhibition builds in, it was expected that these things would take a minute to really get going, that it would look like they were really cooked for a minute and start going. And perhaps when the, you know, more of the stronger forcing is coming in, that little oomph could definitely make all the difference for this guy here. And it is absolutely getting big and large. But again, very clustered. Very, very clustered. Let's do a midsection there. Just see our storm. It's cool stuff, man. It's definitely trying to do that, though. That's for sure. Definitely trying to consolidate. You're definitely trying to consolidate. Top's going up near 40,000 feet. 38,000 or so. 38.7 thousand feet. So we are beefy, and I see there's additional convection popping out down here, and that, again, that's also problematic. Because, you know, any bit of convection that this guy can absorb is going to help it out. Especially if this grows super robust really quick and then just goes into that. Help straighten it out some. It will help straighten it out. Possible mergers, yeah, very small mergers, but anything is helpful. Anything is helpful, especially when it's just this guy doing all the work, you know. When you would have like 7 of these go up and down the dry line, you know, one of them would merge with the other, and you'd get a like if we had another storm this size merged with this thing, it would be tornado time pretty quickly. You know, you'd organize really fast, but when it's just this guy, you just got to rely on it to do it all on its own, which takes up a lot more time. A lot more time, which is why, you know, initiation was almost 2 hours ago, and we're just now becoming a really beefy supercell out here. Good night, Keith. Yeah, nocturnal events are difficult because it's easy to get EP. But good night, Keeter. I think really people in like Lacrosse, Galita, Otis, Russell should be on the lookout for when this thing fully organizes. We're definitely continuing to move northeast. The hope is this thing would take on a little more right moviness and start moving a little right at least, you know, so it would stay kind of within radar view, but I'm not sure about that. I guess something to also watch out for would be like if the line. Look at that. No, look at that. We're getting supercellular structures on the more linear features on the dry line there. Another thing to watch out is as this squall line is approaching the supercell, that is a really quick way to get a strong tornado. Very quickly. You get a brief one, but a strong one when you get these squall lines to collide. Some, you know, not a totally favorable orientation there, but God, look at all that. Lots of different areas of I think that one inhibits tornado development. Sometimes, a lot of times, it just makes it an embedded supercell, but when it absorbs it, it usually really quickly produces and then dies out because it just enhances that streamwise vorticity ingestion because there's a ridge of high pressure that gets pushed out by these storms, and it basically just forces the air up into the supercell much more efficiently. For example, like, I don't know how to make this make sense here. So we have a storm, your crudely drawn supercell. Just pretend that's a supercell, and you have your streamwise vorticity that is being ingested and stretched. Okay, it's going to take a minute, but when you have a squall line approaching, so you have a squall line approaching that's impeding on your storm, you have some high pressure that builds up. It's going to force it's going to really stretch and force it. If that makes any sense, right? Like, whereas it takes a bit of time, you know, to really get going, when you have that high pressure setup from that squall line pushing in, a lot of times it just pretty rapidly forces the air to contort and stretch, and you get a tornado pretty fast out of it. God, really looks like the squall line here is trying to produce like tornadoes soon as well. Look at that, man. Yeah, it's full on. Yeah, that's impressive. And this thing continues to also be impressive. This prefrontal out here. Lots of mergers going into it now. Kind of flying up into it, which is what you want to see if you want to see tornadoes. Yeah, that very quick, it's that front colliding with the dry line is causing pretty instantaneous convection along the entirety of the dry line right there. And you can see probably multiple tornadoes tonight just along the line. And then especially as that supercell collides with the line. Should it grow more robust from this point out? From this point on. But we have plenty of circulations on the line, though. So while this guy struggles out here, the tornado potential from the line here is growing. I mean, with several embedded circulations, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that are visible at least. With this Again, very struggling Supercell. Struggling out here. But could help it produce a strong tour for sure. We'll zoom out a bit. You snorting crack? No, I have. I'm sick. So I'm very sniffly. Very, very sniffly. He's alright, bro. Yeah, that Supercell out there is I mean, struggling to hold on from all the dry air entrainment. It's gonna need the oomph of the squall line, I think, to be a significant tornado producer. Because I mean, it is struggling to get going because there's so much dry air. It's beating it up, and it's very discreet. I mean, so far the forecast is on. We have a discrete supercell out here that did fire, but God, is it really fighting the dry air entrainment? But the line here is God. Talk about tornado production. The line is trying to. You can see multiple embedded circulations in the line. So the line's going to produce, and especially if the line absorbs that supercell, we could either get a quick tornado out of it should the supercell grow a little more robust from this point on, or just become an embedded supercell that's able to actually do something. I'll go back to the panhandle and we'll see no signs of convection on the panhandle, which is good. Want to keep that cap so there's no like uber strong tornadoes tonight in the panhandle. Definitely don't want to see like a bunch of violent tornadoes suddenly. Yeah, this thing's really getting shredded apart by dry air entrainment. I mean, it looks like the tops are even coming down a bit. I mean, it is really there's too much dry air for this thing, and it is getting shredded. Absolutely shredded. Just comes to show you, like, you can have incredible parameter spaces, right? And sometimes the forecast doesn't pan out well, you know. I think we'll probably see numerous tornadoes tonight, though, regardless. We have such strong low-level shear out here that the Pacific front colliding with the dry line is very quickly initiating storms. Some that are supercellular in characteristic and gonna probably produce. But tomorrow's event, in terms of a solid tornado threat, looks better for sure. For sure, looks much better for a really organized, strong tornado threat. Because this guy is doing really bad at this point. This is hard to come back from. I think that our guy out here has succumbed to dry air. I don't think you can really come back from this. I think he's been shredded apart. He had a good chance back here for sure. Especially here, the thought was, grow more robust. But that dry air entrainment shredded him apart. Parameter space was very high, dude. I mean, it looked like May 24th, 2011 with just less moisture and a little later timed. But sometimes that's what can completely throw a wrench in the event, I think we'll be live until it's apparent that this thing is fully done. I don't think I'll cover a bunch of QLCS tornadoes over the night. It's not what I really want to do. And then I'll keep my eye on the panhandle just to see any convection there. Again, we want to avoid that. But it honestly looks like that Pacific front is slamming into it. Might kick off convection down there, but it would go pretty linear, rather than, anything too significant. Then again, we'll look back at tomorrow. It's that 3Z run there. And again, our incredibly high parameter space here. But we just don't have a robust enough storm to really do it. Panhandle uncapped on mesoanalysis, is it? Wow, holy cow. Look at that, look at the VTP. Yeah, look at that. Not much sin in there at all. Okay, I'll keep an eye on that on my phone. So we convect out there. Yeah, this guy's going to continue to struggle. Some cool mesovortices in the line, though. Yeah, I'll keep looking at that on my phone. Because if we uncapped in that area, which it does look like to be like at the surface at least, or near the surface, and I feel like I can see that Pacific front approaching. And that would go linear pretty quick, so at least we would avoid that, unless something can pop out of nowhere. I'm hungry, man. I am hungry. I could go for like mashed potatoes sound good. That sounds good right now. Some good old mashed potatoes. Like some gravy. I don't know, man. Mashed potatoes and gravy sounds good as hell right now. Some brown gravy on mashed potatoes. Perhaps. Man, I just want like a Thanksgiving meal. That sounds fire, bro. Want some virtual jelly beans? No, I need something with like sustenance. I can't like eat a jelly bean. I remember I was starving to death one time, and I convinced a girl to give me her popcorn. And I remember I ate an entire bag of popcorn, and I'm like, wow, that didn't do anything. It was just like eating air. Anything so far? Looks like we came out lucky tonight. There's a lot of dry air just above our heads that's really fighting with the storm, really killing any potential it had to become a strong tornado producer, which is good. Which is good. Just watching for anything additionally, and then if it doesn't look like any of that's going to happen, I'll end it. But the violent tornado parameters pretty aggressively maxed out down there in the Panhandle. I'm really curious about that. So I'm looking on my phone. Doesn't look like much of anything going on. Does look like the Pacific Front and Dry Line are about to collide though. Which should lead. How are you feeling? I hear sniffling. Yeah, I'm not feeling great at all. I'm sick. And my head hurts. So we'll see. At least I haven't ran a fever or anything like that, you know. Annoying, but not like, you know, not like I'm miserable. Source of storm death to lack of mergers. I was saying that earlier. I was like, you know, it's not easy to get these things beefy if it's just on their own, you know what I mean? If it's the storm's job to get fat with no mergers involved, it's going to struggle pretty substantially.
Probably looks nice though. As baby as it is, it's probably the most organized it's been. Honestly, it's probably the best organized it's been most of its life, and only because a little merger, honestly, mini Supercell kind of thing going on there. But that's it. That's kind of it with that. And the panhandle is doing nothing, which is good to see. You know, the squall could do the same. I mean, I'd be interested to see what happens when it comes to the squall, but I don't think it'd be robust enough to like kickstart tornado genesis or anything. It just probably just get eaten up. It's not a very robust storm. I'm definitely a tornado guy, Caitlin, all the way. I'm definitely sniff maxing. Of course, dude, little tiny mergers at the end of this thing has just generated the probably best supercellular kind of structure this thing has had its entire life. It's been kind of a clustered blob, and then, of course, this little shitter gets pumped out, and probably looks nice. Probably looks pretty nice, but because we're in the nighttime, it's not exactly a, really cool thing. And there's been areas in Kentucky, far northern Kentucky, kind of near the Indiana border, that storms have been training in pretty much all day, just hanging out in, and oh man, so there's like one flash flood warning, but it's gotta suck. I have to sneeze, but I can't get it out. I feel it. It's like all up in my eyes and my head, and so congested, but it won't come out. Ugh. Yeah, COVID, I'm perishing, bro. Are you feeling any better? Or are you still just like, no, damn, dude. How long has it been? 4 days. Oh, man. Were you vaccinated or anything? Or are you just like, is this your first time getting COVID? Yeah, twice. Damn, dude. Lame. Lame, lame, lame. It's my third time. That's unfair. Bro, it hates you. What did you do to COVID for it to hate you this much? I've gotten it once, and that certainly wasn't fun, but it wasn't the worst thing ever either. Like, it was pretty straightforward. It was weird. The taste thing was weird because I couldn't taste, but that was it. I felt bad for like 1 day. The rest I just didn't have my taste for, and a sore throat. What was really weird is my eyes really hurt. Like when I had COVID, my eyes were in so much pain, and that didn't make much sense. But my eyes were very, very in pain. Like even like looking with them hurt. Like to just move them around. So I had to just kind of sit there and stare at one point so they weren't in pain. Yeah, this little guy's cooked. I think that's it for the night. Tomorrow, much better from a tornado standpoint. This had quite a high ceiling, but this is our storm, so good job. Good to test the live stream setup, though, that's for sure. The worst I've had so far. It's ass. I'm sorry, brother. Yeah, it doesn't prevent you from getting infected, but the COVID vaccines are a little different in the sense that because they're not as effective. That's factual, because there's such a huge group of people that waited too long. So many different strains were able to come about. So now it's not very effective. It lessens the severity. That's true. I mean, it drops your chance of death to about 0. But, which is as best as it, I mean, that's fantastic, but still not as well as other vaccines because so many people refuse to get it for so long and still haven't gotten it. So it's been able to just run rampant throughout the population and keep going. Whereas something like polio could also have done the same thing, but because so many people got vaccinated for polio when they could, that, I mean, we were donezo real quick, Same thing with measles. Measles and stuff still goes around, but it's not like COVID. So many people didn't get the COVID vaccine that we've rendered the vaccine not as effective as it would have. Initially, if you guys remember at the beginning of when the vaccine distribution happened, at the beginning of like May of 2021 or so, when like it was for the like general public and stuff, the infection rates were dropping like drastically. It was really preventing infection quite well. But because so many people waited too damn long, it was able to just go crazy again, and now it's strictly a preventative measure to keep you out of the hospital. Which, I mean, is good, but if you're like 16, you're not really going to end up there anyway. You know, I mean, that's one thing that's good about COVID, at least, is that it usually a lot of viruses are really lethal to like young children and old adults, or old adults, like senior citizens and young children. COVID is weird. It seems to affect you like as old as you get. Extremely young people aren't infected, and it's not to say that no young people have died from COVID, but the ratio is like, I mean, dude, it's a percentage of a percentage of a percentage of a percentage, you know. But God, we've botched it so hard. We botched all that so hard. I got vaccinated as soon as I could, as soon as it was for the public, because I remember initially it was for like healthcare workers and nurses and stuff like that. But as soon as I could get vaccinated, I got vaccinated. What vaccine did you guys got? I got Pfizer. I got my Pfizer vaccine, baby. I got Pfizered. No tornadoes yet. There might be some on the line, but we're pretty much done. Yeah, older people with pre-existing conditions end up on ventilators a lot with COVID. I mean, it is bad. Like if you, and it'll be really simple. Like something like obesity and being too old, dude. I mean, that can be rough. Very, very rough. Our storm is being absolutely shredded. I mean, it's done. It's done. But certainly a good try. New strain is not a joke, bro. Dude, I'm gonna avoid it. My goal is to avoid it. My throat felt like an open wound. I guess I feel you. My throat doesn't feel good right now, but I mean, it's not bad. I'll just eat a bunch of cough drops and take like 1,000 milligrams of like an NSAID, and we're back to normal, except the sniffles. I just hate the sniffles. That shit is so annoying. Feel bad for people who drove like 10 hours out for this. Dude, they're probably like in shambles. What's this? Huh. Yeah, no, it's not gonna do anything. Interesting look, though. Convection, yeah, it's not doing nothing, though, that's for sure. I mean, it is very, very, very capped off, and I doubt it'd have to be a bit farther west. And you're not gonna get much of anything from that. I'm intrigued to see tomorrow, though. It's just some elevated convection. Lots of lightning, though. These are probably not fun to be in when you're trying to sleep. You could probably get a tornado out of any of these, too. Substantial amount of mergers along the QLCS here, and there's a lot of like embedded rotation already with this thing, so it's probably going to be just a couple tornadoes tonight throughout just the MCD area. But that's kind of it. That's pretty much it for the event, and it's all its strong tornado glory. Good that it didn't turn out to be as robust, especially as it was a few days ago. But man, I know people are getting really tired. I can tell on Twitter that people are really tired of how it's been so far this year, and you know, I guess I can't totally blame them, but It's just one of those years, bro. I mean, we're not in a super strong La Nina. We're not getting like megatroph after megatroph after megatroph after megatroph. You know, it's just not how the year's working so far. And I think people are used to it. I know there's been like an influx of people that have come in like the weather sphere post Mayfield, and I know that they're probably used to seeing events like once a fucking week, like in Dixie especially. So this is probably a total flip around from the huge, you know, these slower start years, I guess you could call them. I think past couple of years were nuts. Yeah, they were pretty well. Yeah, they were. I mean, I guess the last 2021, honestly, like wasn't nuts at all. On like besides Mayfield at the way end of the year, um, well, your first full tracking year was 2018. That'd be miserable. That'd be absolutely miserable. Granted, I didn't track all of 2018, but um, my favorite year was 2016 because my birthday week was so fucking loaded. Like I remember all the videos of Dodge City coming out on my birthday, and I was like, dude, this is so fire. It's so cool to see on my B day, and then Chapman literally like a day later. My first full tracking was 2021 during Noonan, really. Mr. Peach, you're new to the game. New to the game. And it's not like that's a bad thing. It's just there are so many people who are like super new to like weather stuff in general, and they are so fucking miserable. Oh my god. Like so obnoxious. Like there's a couple people that I really want to unfollow just because I have so much stupid shit that pops up in my my feed all day every day. Oh my god, it is so frustrating. And they can really be obnoxious as hell. As anything in any field ever, you know, but hey. I always have some shit to say, yeah. It's really nonsensical most of the time. I think the biggest thing that frustrates me is people that are really new to forecasting and they use like the worst models like ever. Like the amount of people that I will see unironically use like the Rufus and NAM 3K like every event and like hypecast off of it is so frustrating. And there's certain events where they're good, right? Like this event was pretty good in terms of the synoptics for like the NAM 3K or something. But like all the people that are like still even today, like I saw so many posts about the Rufus and like it's like dude, like it's not a good. Or like I saw someone the other night was like, wow, the FV3 is convecting along a drive. Like how is this like the first week that you have touched like any model ever? Like are you really using the FV3 right now, brother? You know, so I don't know. Or like I'll see a ton of soundings that are posted all the time that just don't make any sense. They'll be like, oh my god, I was blah, blah, blah. It'll be like literally the most terrible lapse rates in the world. Be like, oh my god, oh my god, it's people just frustrate me. So I just mute as many people as I possibly can just to see the stupid stuff just disappear and get out of there. Maybe this is what people need to get better at forecasting is these slower years.
But I mean, it was slow a lot. It's been slow many of the past few years, honestly. Like, for example, like Arizona said, 2018. 2019 was cool. 2020 was pretty. Other than Easter, 2020 was, you know. 2021 was really as well until pretty much Mayfield. I guess the only standout from that would be like March 25th in Mayfield, the derecho day, I guess. But that's not. I don't think that's super memorable. I don't really care about tracking anything linear. 2022 was pretty. There was a lot. 2023 was obviously pretty cracked out. Not much in the plains, but 331 and there was a lot of fun. There was a lot of big tornado days. Yeah, Idabel in 2022. The only good thing that I can remember for 2020 was the Easter. That is like it, like Easter, and that's it, dude. Like in terms of like a pure tracking, like because if you saw fucking Ashby on radar, that's not like a cool thing to track. Like it's cool to see the pictures on Twitter, but Ashby wasn't like cool to track. It was like nothing. It didn't even look like there was a tornado ongoing. Ashby, no, but from like a pure tracking standpoint of like on radar, you know. It's cool when there's pictures on Twitter and people are seeing the tornado, but like as from a I am watching radar standpoint, Easter is like all I can fucking think of. Just usually those big days are the most. Cookville, actually. Cookville. That's kind of it, though. That's all I can remember. And then again in 2021, there was March 25th. Mayfield. There's a lot in between. There was that one day in October in Oklahoma. Oh my god, I forget when. There was that one October day in Oklahoma that was cool. It was like a super cyclic. Yeah, Cookville was so shallow. That might not be a good example either. I don't know, 2020 or Easter then. Hello, FT. What was that one day in October, dude? There was like this super cyclic Supercell in October. When was it? Is it October 12th? Was that it? Cocktober is over. I don't know. It was Oklahoma. It was this day. I remember this. October 13th or something. Maybe that's what it is. But that was a memorable day in 2021. Again, obviously Mayfield, March 25th. Let's just look this up. This will be a good refresher for the brain. There's that one... I don't know. I only remember the big stuff. I barely remember these smaller days. Yeah, but that was 2023. I can't be like, Shawnee Cole. Was the one that with the random intense grinder up in Minnesota, all moderate, happened in Oklahoma? No, I don't think so. It was... Bro, what? I think it was whatever this was. But it was totally like nocturnal. Then there was that like... There was a shit ton of... Oh, dude, I barely remember. Use Tornado Archive. Oh, I'm gooning. there was one. It was by the Frederick radar. I remember there was this one super cyclic supercell near the Frederick radar, and I remember I really liked its presentation. Okay, that was 2022. Was that 2022? Okay, so I'm fucking up my dates hard. Okay, so not even 2022, 2021. Then I'm total. Then Mayfield and or that one. What about the one? Maybe this is in 2022 too. 2022 too. There was God. It was somewhere in this region, dude. I don't fucking remember. It was like in Missouri or something, and there was like four. I'll have to go back. I have so many screenshots on my phone that go back years. Hold on. Radar scope. Let me go back. Let me see if I can find it. There was like a well, I gotta find this one day. No, I'm not tweaking. It was 2021. It was 2021. I wasn't tweaking. It was 2021. It was October 12th. It was by... Yeah, it was down here by the Frederick radar. It was this guy. They kept spitting out... I was not tweaking. It was 2021. You gaslit me. But yeah, it was this day. It was this day. I remember this. I'm trying to look and find the... that one random Chicago suburb EF3. That was interesting. I forget what day that was, though. I know it was sometime in June. Because I got berated with tornado warnings that same night. June 21st, 2021, I guess. Bro, where's that one day at? There was like multiple discrete supercells in a line. And I remember the initial report was there was a 1.25 mile wide tornado. Dude, I gotta find this shit, but there's so many radar screenshots, dude. It's like looking through a fucking... It's like literally a scrapbook of the last few years of just shit. Bro, I cannot find this goddamn day. I mean, there's so much just random shit in here. Come on, dude. Where's it at? Okay, I'm in late 2021. I'm trying to go back to it. Yeah, okay. October 24th, 2021 was that next one. October 24th. That was an interesting day. This night was pretty nuts. I remember this. This was pretty cool to track. The Fredericktown. Mullica Hill, yeah. Yeah. The New Jersey stuff. Yeah. I'm scrolling. Let me go back. I have a random fucking, like, there's so many just random ones. There's this tiny mini supercell that I have a radar loop of on my phone from October 10th, 2020. Don't even, like, remember this. What is it? October 10th, 2020. Okay, it was somewhere in this region then. Or do you guys remember that day? I think it was at the end of 2021. It was in northern Georgia. It was all those supercells that were so low topped. They were all producing tornadoes though, but they were so low topped you could barely see them. They were like NP. It was crazy cool. 12:31. Yeah, it was. It was on the. Yeah. That was a cool day. That was a really cool day. I remember thinking that was fucking awesome. Noonan. I was asleep when Noonan happened. I fell asleep like literally right before Noonan. March 13th? Was that the 2021? Hold on, was this the Texas day? Yes. The little Texas moderate. Yeah. I forgot about this day too. That tiny little moderate. This thing had like wedge central out there. I was watching Ryan Hall live when it happened. It went back. He was doing lives in March 2021. Dude, it was huge. Let's put 20. Yeah, dude, this thing was fucking ridiculous. This thing was crazy. Cool day though. Oh, I'm gonna tear it off. Oh, I'm gonna take it out and rip it off. Did you see the new vid yet? I have not. Is this first live stream is starting out? Dude, I swear to God. This was way back in, like, I want to say 2017. Ryan Hall Y'all existed on a different YouTube channel, this vape YouTube channel. I know everybody knows about the vape stuff, but it was like a huge thing. Like, he had a whole channel. He was like a vape influencer, and he had this one video that I saw back in, like, dude, it was 2017, I think, 2016 or 2017, where he went chasing in Kentucky. He had a video of it where he was chasing in Kentucky, and there was a tornado, like it was like a brief EF0, like right outside of his vape shop, but he wasn't there when it happened, when he was out chasing. And that video's gone now. And I remember re-seeing his face on Twitter, like in like mid 2021, and I was like, damn, this dude really went with it. Did he delete his channel? I can't find that video at all. I've looked for that video and I can't find it. I think his current channel is what all the vape stuff used to be on. Because, dude, I swear to you, dude, I remember watching that video, like, 2016 or 2017. Somewhere in that time frame. And it's nice to see that he's pursued, you know, what he's wanted to do. And that he's not vaping, I guess. Because that man was blowing fat clouds. And I mean, he does like super long live streams, right? Like, there's no way he still vapes, unless he like moves off camera for a second and just. But hey, good for him for doing what he wanted to do. So I was saying, like, there's no way you could vape and do that. Like, with 11 hours without vaping, you'd be tweaking. You'd be, like, shaking and scratching and itching your fucking eyeballs out. Like, have you seen people without their vape for, like, 20 minutes? Oh, my God. I respect Ryan's work a lot. I respect his, I just respect his reach. His reach and all the money, like, it's much better. Like, the Red Cross is cool and all, but they'll show up to a scene, give you some blankets, and be like, there you go, you know? Like, think about the Red Cross response, for example, of, like, a huge disaster, like Haitian earthquakes, right? They just gave people blankets and fucking, and, like, FEMA trailers and shit. And, I mean, I guess he's going out with people, and, like, they're, like, cooking. Like, I follow the Marco Patriots on Twitter, and I remember seeing stuff about them after Rolling Fork. They were there for like a month cooking food for people like every day. That's cool. That's dope. That's some good shit. And I know the thumbnails are rough. The thumbnails are iffy, but I mean, it's the name of the game, you know? Like, I mean, that's the YouTube meta. I can't get too mad about it. I mean, I don't really care that much about it. Some of them are a little interesting, but I genuinely I hear people talk about them on the daily. Like I heard I have somebody that I went to high school with, and they're in college in the southern half of the state. And there was that 10 hatch that busted earlier this year. You guys remember the dual wheeled 10 hatch? I was chasing that day. It was the one in northern Illinois and then the one in southern Indiana. She was in that 10 hatch and she knew I was into weather stuff because I posted throughout like dude, literally since elementary school. I was doing dude. I have to bring it up on stream sometime because it was some maxi weenie shit, dude. I'm scared to go on Instagram, low key. But dude, it is peak weenie shit. You should have seen the shit that I was posting, and like, dude, especially on May 20th in 2019. I mean, it was wild. It was fucking maxi weenie grinder Mike Morgan shit. But anyway, so she knew that I did that, so she was texting me about it, and then she brought up Ryan Hall. I was like, how the fuck do you? And in the college, like, the main college principal person, whatever the fuck you call that, was watching Ryan Hall to do it in like, make decisions and stuff. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. I saw a picture of emergency management in, like, Kentucky watching Ryan Hall. And I know someone that was really mad about that. They were like, oh my god, you have the National Weather Service at your disposal and you're watching Ryan Hall? It's like, well, I didn't know that the National Weather Service did live streams and talk to you about what's going on. Sometimes it's just easy. And I know, there's not a lot of arguments. I know there's a lot of people that don't like Ryan, and I don't totally understand why. Like, I know a lot of people are like, he's not a meteorologist. And it's like, okay, well, most of us aren't. You know, I don't think you need to be a meteorologist to cover radar. Like, I don't think that is needed at all, you know? I mean, it's not like actual meteorologists don't fuck up all the time. Like, I have seen unwarned tornadoes, like unwarned significant tornadoes go unwarned, and offices literally so fucking... It's crazy. It's crazy. Like Dodge City with that fucking... I think it was Dodge City, at least, with that one that was, like, ongoing, and they were like, it's elevated. It's like, bro, it's not elevated. He has a degree. He does not. I know he was in college for it, but he himself doesn't have a degree. But he has plenty of people on his team who have degrees, and I think that's all that matters. I mean, I don't have a degree. I mean, I physically can't. I'm a little too young to get that knocked out, but I don't think it matters at all. If it's working out, it's working out. Dude, do you know how many TV meteorologists, in quotes, don't have degrees? There's one in my local area who does not have a degree. Possible tornado forming. Oh, I haven't even looked at radar in a minute. Hold on. Near Moreland, Kansas. Oh yeah, probably up in there. I mean, we're really far away. The rotation doesn't look that strong, but I wouldn't be totally surprised either. It looks a little disconnected. It's rotating, but we're a little, I don't know. If it is, it's weak, and it's just kind of on that fine line where I don't... But it does look like the line's going to become a QLCS spammer. But yeah, he had that. He was interning at I saw something with him interning on a. It was in that video that he had so fucking long ago. He interned at the local weather whatever, and he said he was in college for I don't know how long, but you don't need a. I don't think you need a degree to be knowledgeable. I know plenty of people who are fantastic at forecasting and they don't have a degree. You know, I mean, everything that you would learn in college exists elsewhere. You can learn it. Obviously, a degree is important, like, for careers and stuff, but I mean, there's plenty of people that, like, I think the National Weather Service should eventually get pretty lenient, especially with, like, military meteorologists, in quotes. There's a lot of people who are weather analysts and stuff for, like, the Air Force and the Navy, and they're fantastic forecasters, but they don't have degrees, you know, and but they can't join. They can't, like, go to the National Weather Service. They can't work in an office or anything like that because they don't have a degree. But they've, in general, have a ton of experience. You know, they can forecast their ass off. They forecasted for the military, but they don't have a degree. You know, so I think it would be cool if they got more lenient, I'd say. That'd be cool. And I mean, yeah. They should hire him. I agree. I mean, there's a lot of people that are very talented. Yeah, I see those storms in Oklahoma. They're struggling though. They're not really doing anything of interest. Or like, yeah, the military, in quotes, meteorologists are damn good, and they, or like a lot of pilots and stuff, but they don't have degrees, so they can't, you know, apply anywhere. And another thing is, there's very specific National Weather Service requirements. You can get degrees in meteorology, like you can get it's not like an associate's. I think it's an associate's. Like, you need a bachelor's to be a approved National Weather Service certified meteorologist, whatever. But you can get, like, you can major in meteorology for like 2 years or something. You can get a degree in meteorology, or you can get like you can be in hydrology or whatever with a focus on meteorology, or geography with a focus on meteorology, or, you know, and or you can get like a master's in meteorology or something, you know. And the Weather Service just has really specific requirements. Like, for me, I have to take an extra class I have to take a differential equations course just to be able to get without the differential equations course, by the end of college, I won't be considered a meteorologist. Like, in the approved sense, right? But, like, once I knock out the differential equations course, because that's on the NWS requirements, instantly, it's so weird. It's so strange. It's so strange. And a lot of it's so, there's a lot of stuff that isn't, you know, we could talk all day about that, but there's stuff that isn't, like, totally, you know, doesn't make a ton of sense in terms of, like, degree requirements. They should definitely lessen up more on that front, too. I was just thinking, I've been thinking about this for a while, like, I want the degree because I want the degree. Like, I just want to learn as much as physically possible. Like, every day I'm trying to seek new information, right? Physically available to me. So I want the degree. I just want the degree to have the degree too. But I don't know what to do after that. Like, I've thought, like, after the degree, I have no idea what to do. I know I want the degree, to have the degree, but I don't know what to do with the degree, because working at the Weather Service doesn't sound very fun. Like, an office job doesn't sound fun. You get a pension with it because it's a government job, but, you know, I don't want an office job, really, and the pay isn't that great. I've thought about broadcast. I think I could kill broadcast. I think most of us people could. I think any, like, knowledgeable weather enthusiast could kill broadcast, unless you're like super socially, like, anxious or whatever. You probably all could kill. And that's quick. You could get hired somewhere easily, but I don't know. I don't know what to do with it. I've thought a lot about it, and I don't really know what to do. A social media meteorologist? What does that mean? Are you talking like to go down the Ryan Hall route kind of thing? Like try to jump on the social media medium? Maybe work for Ryan Hall? Dude, that's hard as that's not it. That'd be... That kind of has to come to you kind of thing. Be like, yo, Ryan Hall, I want you to hire me. I mean, I guess if you had a degree in email... He talks about that, though, right? Like, there are people who email him all the time. I don't know. That's a luck thing. And you don't have to be met to get hired by Ryan Hall, dude. He has a bunch of, like, 14-year-olds working for him, like, on Discord and shit, too. It's crazy. I don't know. I don't know what to do. I know I want the degree to have the degree, but I don't know what to do with it in the end. I think broadcast is safe. Broadcast is easy. You know, I think it would get boring outside of severe weather days, but I know on severe weather days it would be pretty damn easy. I mean, it's a walk in the park. It really is. I mean, not to say that their jobs don't get difficult ever, but I don't... Like, on my... it was back in 2016. We went to... have we seen anything tornadic at all yet? No. But back in 2016, near my birthday, that same week, I was able to go to the local news station and, like... Not intern, because I was fucking, like... I think I was, like, 14. But, like... or not... Whatever. Not intern, but, like, I got to go and they let me get in front of the green screen and stuff like that. And I remember they were... showing me, like, what was it called for models? And I was like, hell no, bro, I'm not using that. They were using, what is it called? Like, Weather Bell? They were using, like, Weather Bell or something. They showed me NWS chat and stuff. Is it Weather Bell? I was like, hell no, dude, I'm not using Weather Bell. It is Weather Bell, okay. I was like, dude, I will be using not Weather Bell. What's Weather Bell? Think of, like, I don't know, it's forecasting, but it's expensive as hell, if I'm not mistaken. I remember when I looked at it when I was younger, I was like, dude, this is crazy. Like, I don't even know if I can... You have to have a trial for everything. Think of Pivotal, just like, now it's expensive and has worse... It has a worse, like, design. Like, it's worse... It has a worse user interface. Yeah, that's nothing that you couldn't get for free on Pivotal or COD. Like, please do not get Weather Bell. Oh my god. I mean, I don't know the advantages of something like Weather Bell, but I can tell you I'm never using it. That is for sure. It's not too early. We had our window for tornadoes, and it was conditional on, like, the thing was we were going to have discrete supercells go up along the dry line, but there was a lot of dry air. And the wonder was, are these supercells going to be able to fight off the dry air? And no, they weren't able to. This one storm was not able to fight off the dry air. So it's gone now. And tornado potential is dropped pretty much to zero. Strong tornado potential. But we still got to watch anything, any rotation in the line, any kinks in the line for anything. You got a cold, I do. And I guess, whoa, Panhandle, what are we doing? Whoa, the Panhandle, what are we doing? My brother. My brother, what are we attempting to do? My brother, what are we attempting to do? Holy cow! Look at in western Oklahoma, it is like totally uncapped. Look at that. At least partially in northwest Oklahoma. Good lord. So that's concerning because we actually have a storm in that, I think. I don't know how it's gonna hold on very well. I don't know if it will, and in all honesty, this isn't a very good look, like in terms of the yeah, it doesn't really look like it has much to hold on to, but it doesn't look like it's, I mean, I'm not like if we had storms go up right here. Bro, I had you on in the background and dozing off in that corner. I hear, whoa, panhandle, and my eyes shot open like a close-up SpongeBob frame. That's interesting. There's like a little blob there on the panhandle. I guess we'll wait to see what this guy does, but it could end up in the same fate. But I don't know. That's pretty interesting. Just give it up, bro. It's over, bro. The last time I remember you guys were doing this, bro. You and Solar were like, "It's done. This event is cooked." And me and Arizona were up till like it was, dude. What was it? It was like 6 a.m. And finally, we had our tornadoes. And we just held on for long. And we just had to hold on. And we got them. When was that? That was like January 9th? Was that it? January 9th? The Panama City Day? Yeah, it was. I think it was January 9th. Reverse psycho. Oh, okay, I see you. I see you. But yeah, where the storm's going up, it's actually not capped from what I can tell on meso analysis. From what I can tell, it's not super capped. And quite a bit of instability to work with. Quite a strong low-level jet as well, like 55 knots. So we will see. Hold on. Let's go on the wrap. All of them are so hot, dude. We'll pull somewhere around there. Watch it. I don't know. We'll keep an eye on that. We'll keep an eye on that. That might be interesting. I mean, I don't know how juicy those guys are going to be able to get, but they don't got anything else to do. Shit. Dude, if I see one more person unironically use the Rufus, I'm going to catch myself on fire. I might be mad if this NyQuil hits while a debris ball slams into... I'm headed to club bed with BJ blanket and MC pillow. Alright, bro, a blowjob blanket. A blowjob blanket? June, where did you get your blowjob blanket? The June DeGost blowjob blanket. Minecraft pillow. Do you guys have that one memory foam pillow that's like low key yellow? Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Or is that just me, bro? With that one yellow memory foam pillow. Just you? Alright then. Alright then. Nasty? Alright, bro. Alright, bro. So it is just me. Alright. Alright. All right. Wash pillows? No, bro. Dude, that's like when you tell me to wash my carpet, bro. The scent keeps the memories and like the comfort there. Like you have nothing to comfort you if you wash that shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like sense you have to have a recognizable scent to calm you and comfort you. Something normal, you know. So you can't clean it. You got to let them get dirty. You got to let them stank. It's pheromone maxing. All right, dude? Clean your carpet? No, I'm pheromone maxing. You know you're just dirty? I am pheromone maxing, bro. You are dirty. I'm pheromone maxing, whatever. You don't get it. I don't expect you to get it, Mr. Peach. It's a little ahead of your time. You're a slob. I'm pheromone maxing. Dude, I can't believe it's only 1 in the morning, dude. It feels like it's been like it feels like it's 3 or something. Boomers these days, truly. I'm hungry, dirty hell. Come on, bro. Naeem, bro. Agree with me here. When you don't clean clothes or carpets or anything like that, it gets a nice scent. It gets a nice, delicious scent, dude. It gets a familiar, fantastic flavor to it. An instantly recognizable scent. A nostalgic scent. I need you arrested. What did I just grab onto? I don't know what I grabbed onto, but it made a click. Me? Alright, bro. You can wear pants as many times as you want. Alright, go. No, you can't. No, you cannot. Please do not. Okay, do you actually own a gun? Why do you ask me that like once a month? I wear the same pair of underwear for like a week. Like 4.5 days, and then you switch it on the other side, and then like the rest like 2.5 or something. You just wear like, you know. You've made sounds that imply you have a gun. You just gotta wear that underwear for as long as you can. Wash your clothes? No, dude, it's good for the environment to use things for as long as you can before you don't have to use, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so don't, like, just wear the same pair of underwear until, like, they become hard. Like, usually you want to change out the underwear until it's, like when you drop the underwear on the floor and it, like, makes, like, a noise, that's when you want to change your underwear. But you really want to keep it on for as long as you can. Same thing with toilet paper. Toilet paper is detrimental to the environment, right? How much paper gets wasted? You just need to, like, I mean, this is the thing, bro. Like, if you just poop and pull up your pants, like, that's it. That's all you gotta do. I mean, no one's gonna see it anyway. And if you shower, you're fine. So, oh, nah, I'm out. Bro, it's facts, bro. It's facts. Same with play. Oh, no.
Oh no, that's yeah. It's a waste if you don't eat it, bro. You just have to, Mr. Peach. Like you have to just trust the process. Peach telling every yeah. Peach is just hating, bro. Like he like if you don't like it to get so hard that it flakes off when with each step, then bro, like I don't know what to tell you, dude. All of you are nasty. No, we're not. We're just. I don't. All right, bro. I'm gonna go get some food. I'm gonna be right back. Maybe I can find a good plus. You know. Damn, it is warm in my fucking room. Like, really warm in here. It feels like almost 80. Which is really weird. Not comfortable. Hold on. It's about 50 degrees outside, so I should pop a window. How cool is this air? Oh yeah, real cool, okay. I'll let that flood into my room for like an hour. You kept mentioning a blip. Yeah, there was a storm earlier. Little blip on the radar, I guess you could call it. And the idea was if that thing grew robust, it would be a tornado producer, a strong tornado producer. But it's not. But we seem to be exploding out here, which is not traditionally ideal. Whoa. These guys are growing pretty fat too. We have popped thy... Huh. Okay. I guess we gotta watch because these storms are in a pretty favorable environment. Now that they have access to like mergers, now that they're not like suffering, it's time to watch. I'm gonna watch and wait. See what they do. Oh, I'm gonna shit. And turn into like a muffin. Yeah, there's not much going on tonight so far. We just had initiation in Oklahoma, though, so we gotta watch. I think there's a boundary? Nah. It looks like it, but we're just kind of erupting along the same spot. But that's pretty favorable look. Usually you'd want to just get to the southernmost storm right there. Let them all kind of do their thing. We'll see, though. People are complaining about nothing. I know. Like chasers and stuff. They're not very happy. A lot of weather enthusiasts, they want to track something. You know, it's been a while. You know, people like tornadoes. When they don't see them, you know, they get bummed out. That's a good thing. Tonight didn't verify. Tonight had a very high-end parameter space. That would have been not good if we were verifying.
I'm tearing up goldfish right now. Like crazy. I'm like the goldfish maniac right now. I can't really taste much of it because I'm so congested, but I'm gonna scroll through Twitter for a second. The goldfish man. Ritz crackers are good. But usually if I have a Ritz cracker, like I need like some soup or some cheese or something, you know what I mean? I like some chili and some Ritz crackers. That's always the shit. I'm sitting here like tearing up goldfish, so wolf chili, no beans, premium saltines, unsalted tops. I'll smack a little butter on those crackers sometimes though. Like a little butter on a cracker with some chili. I mean, I'll start spazzing out. Low key. Alright. Let me go wipe the MSG off my hands because I don't want to like lick my fingers. I'm back. Oh, Jesus Christ, scared me. I forget that, like, if you have, like, a window open in a room and you close the door, like, the air pressure is different, so the door will just BAM, you know? Anyway. Man, what was I gonna say? I forgot what I was gonna say, bro. Oh, yeah. I'm sick, so, like, my throat is, like, dry. Makes me want to, like, drink lotion. Like, I need something to, like... Because cough drops are cool, but they work to an extent, you know what I mean? Cough drops are very fleeting. They work, but they're fleeting. They don't, like... Usually need a lot of cough drops, too. You're a Cheez-It guy? I used to eat a lot of Cheez-Its as a kid, but man, I ate them to the point where like I can't even think about eating them anymore. Our winds are a little more veered out here. I don't know that we're gonna see much of anything. I think we're kind of cooked. The environment's supportive, but I just don't think we're gonna see like robust supercells. I think that our time frame here is pretty much cooked. Even though we have very favorable conditions, you know, there's a lot more to it than crazy environment. You know, but we'll see what the SPC does in 20 minutes. There's a chance they might upgrade tomorrow to 15 hatched, moderate risk. I had so many years back that I can't really eat them anymore with Nutter Butters. My mom hates those, dude. She ate a ton on the way to like a Cedar Point one time. And like threw up everywhere. And I just got like a bad food aversion to Nutter Butters. Surprised this thing didn't do anything, yeah. It happens though. It happens. Especially in these planes events, the cap sometimes, you know, you always have an EML in these kind of events, and you just gotta... The cap did break. You know, we were right about that. The cap broke. We had some discrete supercells, but there was too much dry air. They weren't able to take full advantage of their environment, I guess you could say, which, I mean, it happens more times than it does. But man, this one was impressive. But we have tomorrow, which I'm still... Yeah, this busted for sure. But, like, anything significant? No, we're pretty much done. Looks like we busted. Good thing, though. Good thing. Very high-end parameter space. But tomorrow is one of those days where it's going to be a little difficult to avoid a... Tomorrow looks pretty loaded, too. It hasn't been convecting much. Good job. Come on. Okay, now it is convecting discrete storms. I don't think I'll chase out in Iowa, though. The environment's really good, and I can't wait to see everything that comes out of Iowa, but I am not driving 6 hours tomorrow. That is not what I want to do, especially when I feel like ass. Last thing I want to do is drive 6 hours to Iowa. So, well, I was building up, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if they upgraded to a moderate tonight. Tomorrow definitely looks like the day now. After the trough slowed so much for this event, tomorrow is now the day. And then after that, I mean, we have multiple days of this because then we have, check this out. So we have this day, we have the round in Iowa, and then the redevelopment behind this. And there's going to be discrete supercells behind this that's just not modeled for some reason. And then Wednesday, we have round 3 with discrete supercells firing in northwest or northeast Indiana, moving into Michigan and Ohio. I mean, look at that. That's pretty nice. So I'll chase this because it's so close. 50 knots glow level shear. Pretty strong thermos, kind of classic looking, deep moist layer, so it's pretty much surefire, you know, one of the things that, like, I mean, it's 2 hours away, how can I not? I mean, look at that, man, that's pretty impressive. Look at that, man, by 4 p.m. Woo! That's getting me excited. Look at that structure on the HRRR. And it turns into some rippers, man. Some actual rippers. That low-level shear looks to increase just a little bit. And then they're slow moving, too. Look at how far they move in an hour. Not very much. About a county. So I think I'll target... Honestly, based on this, Wednesday I'm more excited for. I guess I'll go to, like, Findlay, Ohio. Which isn't that far away at all. Findlay, Ohio is like 2 hours. 2 hours and 40 minutes. Almost a 3-hour drive, but not bad. And I'll go to Findlay or something like that. I'll wait there. And we'll just follow that storm till the end of its life, which will probably be fairly quick, as it looks to go linear. So we'll do that. We'll see if we can bag a good Ohio tornado, because that looks incredibly promising, especially with this profile. Enough low-level wind shear to get it done, no doubt. Kind of a classic Ohio mini Supercell esque. Thermos are great, especially for such a small storm. So we'll be good. We'll be good on that day. I'm almost more excited about that than tomorrow. I'm still not sure if I'm going to chase tomorrow or not, because of how far away the main risk is. But I think that there's definitely a residual risk of tornadoes as we move into Illinois in the daytime. But I think that's fleeting. That's slowly trending away from what's actually happening. Because there's plenty of favorable ingredients, you could say, for tornadoes out ahead of this, but it looks to be mostly stratiform rain, and I don't want to do that. I don't think I'll chase. If I wasn't feeling so ass, I might go ahead and decide to pull the trigger to drive to Iowa. But man, it's a drive. It's a drive. Wednesday looks fun though. More of a local and fantastic chasing terrain up there in northern Ohio. I just hope that it keeps trending this way. If we had this consistently and maybe a little south, that'd be fantastic. I was just over here for the solar eclipse, so it'd be nice to just go back. Really nice terrain out there, really flat. Would be easy to see any tornadoes, and it looks to be just great supercell. So, whatever, dude. That's great for me. That makes me excited. That makes me real excited. I don't know if I'd drive 6 hours for it. I would if I didn't feel so ass, because I mean it looks like a good setup. Looks like a good setup. It's it's always worth the drive. Even the busts. You know, it's just good to get out there. But this is definitely worth the drive. It'll be Wednesday. I'll probably be feeling better, and that looks great. I hope we can stay on that trend, man. I really hope we can trend that way consistently. That'd be fantastic. That'd be absolutely fantastic. Oops. Model trend loop. I think we only have this run. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Man, I hope we can trend that way. That makes me excited. Alright, we have the M-Pass coming in as well. I don't think it goes out just that far. No, not yet. The HT coming in. The HT shows a good setup. Ooh, the HT look. I want to be a happy camper. Yeah, you don't. Well, it depends how hard you bust, you know? That's what she said. Like, there have been times where I have driven to setups and it has completely busted. Like, just recently. Yeah, that's a decent trend. Okay. It's a little more linear than I'd want to see it on the HT, and it's a lot earlier. But I'll just throw that in the trash for now. But most of the time, if you just see a good storm, you know, that makes you happy. I don't like the look of that though. Like a total bust, yeah, that doesn't make you very happy. But it happens. It's the name of the game, you know. If you're in it expecting to never bust, you can't do it. You're gonna be disappointed really fucking fast. Then the Rufus, a terrible model, is suggesting a full-on supercellular chaos in Michigan. Probably in a terrible environment, too, because it's the good old Rufus. It's actually not bad. But I like the ARRR solution better, because it's closer to me and I like it better, so I don't know, I'll just pray that that's the right solution. Nam's being a little weird with it too. But the environment looks the same. Which is interesting that the Nam is finally not cracked out. How about the NSSL? The WRF. The NSSL WRF is pretty good too. Would you see any water spouts? You could technically, but I'm not. I wouldn't bet on it totally, because the waters are really cool. Sometimes that's really detrimental to water spouts. We'll see. I hope the HRRR solution trends right, because I don't want to drive all the way to Illinois tomorrow.
on the fringes of the risk. I'm not feeling good. But I will if that's the only thing that looks good. I mean, I'm down. I don't give a fuck. This would be early, though. This would be a fairly early. This is at 1 p.m. 1, 2 p.m. or so. I have to get up a little early. Not bad, though. How far across Ohio would we go? Like, if we stop just south of Cleveland, because the terrain drops off pretty terribly when you go to Akron. 4 hours max. I don't mind that. I can drive home. That's not bad. Wait, 4 states away from me? Ah, yeah, I guess I am. 1, 2, 3, 4. This ARRR solution has me so soggy. Can't even lie. I want to see what the HN does. The HN did something similar. I like it. The MPass models have done pretty good, too. Oh, the environment doesn't look that good, though. I don't know. We'll see. We will see. The SREF. The STP mean. Okay. Not great. But I guess for a lower end setup. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it went 10 hatched. Or not 10 hatched. Enhanced, but not for tornadoes, totally. Yeah, if you're ever chasing in Indiana, if there's a day where you are out in Indiana to chase, it has to be one high-ass end event. My ass would be there too, for sure. So we'd be able to meet up. I was looking and... yeah. Actually, hold on. Yeah, that's going in the trash. 8 minutes till the new outlooks come out. Please, God. Oh, day 2's already out. Look at that. It's already out. Yes! Look at that. Love it. Love to see it. Love to see it. Tornado driven. Let's go. Let's go. Did they even mention tornadoes in this, or are we just like trolling? Okay. So you produce a tornado, but they're just unsure of the extent. So we will be out there, baby. Good shit. Day 1 is day 1 out. Day 1 is out. Big 10 hatched. Very Big 10 hatched. Wait, it looks like almost they're making room. Ah. Not a crazy outlook. Not as crazy as I was expecting it, honestly. I guess I dropped them early tonight. But looks like it's trending a bit west. And I don't really want to go that far west. I guess I could head up to Rockford. Rockford, nah, that doesn't look good enough to go to Rockford. I don't know. I think we might sit out tomorrow. Might sit out tomorrow. The first time you'll ever hear me say that I'm going to sit out in Illinois 10 hatched. Like, that's psychotic. But I feel like shit, and I don't want to drive that far.
So we'll see. But we'll be out here this day. Hopefully hope it doesn't downtrend and look like shit. It doesn't. The ARRR is still pretty aggressive with it. I don't know. I'd really like this solution to come true. I would really like that to come true. Whoa, we really get hot over here. So the MPass models are telling me that I should still probably go, but it's keeping it completely no convection. Why? That is weird. I like to chase more discrete supercell setups too. I don't like messy lines. I like very clear, concise supercells that I can move around in, rather than a fast-moving line that really messes you up if you get behind it. If you don't feel it, don't chase it, dude. That is the motto, baby. I don't feel it. I don't feel it. I don't want to chase this. It's trending a little too far west. And by the time it gets to Illinois, I don't know. I'll probably regret it tomorrow. There'll probably be something crazy that goes on in Western Illinois. There'll probably be like a wedge. And I'm going to sit here and fucking bawl my eyes out. But, fine, I'll look at how long. How long of a drive? 5 hours. I don't want to do that. I don't think I will do that. But the next chase might put me really close to Detroit, and that's like a 2-hour drive to Detroit. Right in there, so we'll see. But I really like the ARRR is usually the most accurate of these, and this being the solution makes me incredibly happy. So we'll see what happens. I like this 5 tour though. Hope we can bag another tour. I just burped. What does it smell like? Yeah. It's been cool. I think I'm going to kick the live it now. I've been going for a while. I don't feel very good. I think I'm going to get some rest. So it has been fun, ladies and gents. It's been very fun. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night.